Lifting weights is a complete waste of time for women. At least that's what I used to tell myself until God showed me how much of an impact lifting weights can actually do in my life. And in this video, I want to share with you guys why you should incorporate strength training into your workout regimen if you are not. If that sounds interesting, keep watching. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy, for those of you who do not know me. In my life as an athlete, I have had so many experiences that have shaped me into the woman I am today. I want to share with you guys a little personal story because my journey to lifting weights was a very interesting one, and I think that it can hopefully encourage some of you out there, especially if you're a woman thinking that it's a waste of time, if you are somebody who just focuses on cardio, if you are somebody who wants to see real change in your body but you have yet to see it. This video will hopefully help you because a lot of women think lifting weights and going to the gym and, moving their body in this way is very insignificant. And I was actually one of them. Like, I used to hate it. It has been something I've had to do as a track athlete in order to get more powerful and strong and faster. And so I just did it out of necessity. But what I learned in the whole process is that it is so crucial in so many ways for your health, for your bones, for your mindset, for a lot of things. And honestly, it has completely changed my confidence. And God has shown me that I can do so much more than I thought I could do when I started to lift. So my first interaction with weights was when I was nearing the end of high school. So for me, that was about 17 years old. I had never really lifted before then, and I started to lift and I really just did not like it. So lifting weights just felt so hard for me. My body was very skinny. I used to have these arms that, in my opinion, I considered little noodles because they couldn't do much. But I was just like, okay, this is not fun. I do not want to lift weights. This is a dumb thing to do. Why do we have to do it? I didn't actually see the benefit when I first started. And so I was praying and hoping I never really had to do it again. Fast forward to my freshman year of college, and we had to lift weights consistently. I was so annoyed that this was a requirement. I'm like, can I please just run on the track? I love to run. I love to move my body in a fast way. I do not want to lift weights. This was a requirement to be on the team and in order to actually see progress on the track. So I just did it out of necessity, and I did see myself improve on the track through doing it. But what I will say is, in that whole journey, I was rushing through the movements. I was trying my best to get out of there as quick as possible. Wasn't actually pushing my body hard enough. And I honestly was leaving a lot on the table when I look back now, because I think I had a lot more to give. I did not have the right mindset when it came to lifting. And honestly, I never really wanted to have anything to do with it. It wasn't until I graduated from college, I was a professional athlete, that I could no longer run for a season. I had gotten hurt in my first year as a professional, and I was told I had to sit out the season. So all I could do during that time was just lift weights and focus on getting stronger. I was so frustrated in that season because I genuinely did not want to do it. I'm like, I just want to get back to running, but I knew this is the only thing I could control in the season because my body wouldn't let me run, but it will allow me to actually strength train. I prayed about it to the Lord. So as a believer, I just said, God, please give me the ability to do this well. I want to do whatever I can do to come back and run and become the fastest athlete I knew I could be. However, in that prayer, God started to show me that strength training was actually the missing puzzle in so many ways for me. Up until that point, I was lacking a lot of confidence in myself. I knew I was fast, but I knew that I struggled with explosiveness and wanting to just feel strong and confident in my body. And I hadn't really learned how to tap into that. But in this season, I was focusing on the small muscles. I was really going through the movements very slowly. I was actually doing compound movements every week and really increasing my weight through time. I actually had a coach that I was working with one-on-one. And in that process, I fell in love with strength training. Not only did I see my body start to shift and improve, I was also starting to gain confidence I had never had. I was pushing weights that honestly some guys weren't able to push. I was starting to see myself really overcome boundaries. And the more I became stronger in the weight room, I started to see myself become stronger emotionally as well. So it started to translate in other places of my life. Because I would push more in the weight room, I would tell myself, Cindy, you can do hard things when real life obstacles came in the way. And during this whole process, God was revealing to me that strength training was what I needed to do to strengthen my spiritual life. In a weird way, I had no idea that this is what was going to come out of this. But in that process, I recognized that I was so much better of an overall person when I started to lift weights. But I also want to share some of the physical manifestations that came out of this because I was shocked when I actually started to really take this seriously. After I came back from my injury, my body had started to transform. I was starting to feel more lean than I ever had before. I lost so much body fat I was starting to build a metabolism that was allowing me to burn more fat at rest. So actually lifting these weights was making me become more fit and more lean because I had more muscle to work with. But when I was intentionally lifting weights and actually, pushing myself and really becoming stronger, my body fat percentage went down completely, and I was able to do the things I wanted to do a lot more effortlessly. So running on the track became easier, moving around day to day became easier, and like I said, spiritually, I became so much more tough. And so there's so many benefits that come out of weightlifting. If you are somebody who wants to start incorporating this into your lifestyle, I highly recommend it. And here are some tips on how you can do this. Start off small. Find a few compound movements that you feel comfortable with and start doing them, but don't add weight. What I did was I mastered the movements first before I started to add weights. And so if you are unfamiliar with lifting, or you just feel, a little less confident when you get into a weight room, don't even focus on adding a lot of load, and truly get your form really, really good, because this is going to help you so much when you actually want to push the weight up and actually see your body thrive in the future. If you start off with poor habits at the beginning with your form, you will not see all the benefits. So the reason I was able to see so much transformation and so much physique change and actually able to lift weights that were a lot was because I actually mastered the form and really became comfortable with doing things at the basic level. So that's my first recommendation for you. If this is something that you want to start doing, is master your form, master actually getting comfortable with the movements, and then from there you add. So once you get comfortable with this, then you're going to start adding load every single week. That is considered progressive overload. So progressive overload is just increasing your intensity and weight over time and not getting stagnant. So those HIIT workouts that you do with body weight every single week, like that is more cardio. Whereas if you're trying to actually properly strength train, you want to increase that load. And when I started to do this every single week, I started to become so much stronger. You don't indefinitely do this. Obviously you have variations and things will change in your whole cycle, but you want to be pushing yourself. When I became so intentional with actually challenging my muscle, that's when the true growth and the true strength developed. So if you're pushing your muscles till failure, you're actually lifting load heavy, and you're actually, getting good with your form, you're going to see the progress you want to see. And I promise you, if you do this for a couple months at a time, your body will thank you. You will start to see real change. You got to pair this with a good diet though. Okay. So one thing I learned this whole process was that pairing this with a good diet was so crucial. And I felt like the reason I was able to see the most success was because I was actually giving my muscles what it needed to grow. So in this whole process, I learned that I was actually really becoming a lot more hungry. And so I listened to that hunger cue, and that also in return helped me feel stronger. With strength training, you will start to feel hungrier. Your metabolism will start to speed up. You will want to incorporate more food. But if you compare this with a great nutritious diet, I promise you, it will be such a game changer for you. In this whole journey and process, God showed me that the very thing I had been avoiding was the thing I needed to see real change. I was avoiding strength training for most of my life. I was lacking effort. I wasn't really trying. I wasn't putting in the time because I didn't enjoy it. And I thought that it was a waste of time. But when I changed my mindset and changed how I looked at it and viewed it, and actually went in when I had no other choice during my injury, everything changed. This is a reminder that the very thing you could be avoiding with this is where real change happens. Allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone and allow God to move in your workout journey. When I started incorporating him into my path, I became the strongest I have ever been. And now I love strength training, and I want every woman to start to do this themselves. I promise you, you will see so much benefit if you start to incorporate this consistently. I only strength train about 3 to 4 times a week. I don't do more than that. And if you're somebody who is a busy person, this is easily something you can add into your day-to-day time. You can get a lot of benefit from lifting weights in just about 3 days a week. Lifts that I recommend that you start to do to really build that strength are compound lifts. So we're talking back squat, deadlifts, bench press, all of those compound lifts that are going to touch every muscle of your body. You need to be focusing on that. You don't have to be doing all this extra credit work at the beginning. If you can focus on those movements as you begin, that's where real change will start. I actually help women one-on-one do this in my Faithfully Elite one-on-one coaching program, where we are strength training and we are building muscle, and we are also doing cardio. So I'm not saying cardio is bad by any means. I take a more hybrid approach with working out. I have worked with multiple women who have seen progress and who are seeing themselves flourish. So if you're somebody who wants to start doing this consistently, wants to have purpose beyond just looking good, because what we do in this program is we focus on not just the physical, but also the spiritual spiritual and the mental part of it, then go down to my description and apply for my program, because I am currently taking a few new women on right now, and I will help you one-on-one, and you'll be working with me to see the progress that you want to see. I also have a free resource in the description as well called the Faithfully Fit Blueprint that will help you if you are new on this journey. And if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment if you are new to strength training, if you're interested in it, any questions you may have regarding it. I can make more videos in the future on this topic. This is the topic I feel super excited about, so I will make sure to respond to your comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.